Hey guys, welcome back to Bonita Lifestyle Podcast. Hey guys, what is up? What's good in the hood? So yeah, by the title, you guys are probably, you know, aware that I'm gonna talk about my 40s because I am about to be 40 in 2 months. So I want to talk about what I've learned in my 30s and what I'm bringing to this new era, this new milestone. I don't know. How do you call it? ¿Cómo se dice? I don't know. But yeah, I want to talk about those things. And especially like if you guys are 40 and single, like girls, don't feel bad. I am 40. I mean, not 40 yet, but I'm about to. I'm 39 and I'm single and I'm thriving. Honestly, like, and that's what I want to talk about too. Like, how did I get to where I'm at mentally, emotionally, to not feel bad for being single at 40? And I'm not gonna lie, like when I was in my early 20s, when I first became a single mom, like I had told you guys, when I became a single mom at 26, yeah, I was angry at life. I felt defeated, and I said, I'm never gonna, be with anybody again. Like, men suck. Like, I'm never gonna trust a man again or whatever. I had that mentality because I was so hurt. I felt defeated. I felt, like a failure for not knowing how to keep a man or for not knowing how to, I don't know, like be married. I don't know. But the way I think about it now, it's like, and I used to think, oh my God, like being 40 is old. Like, and it's funny because now that I'm a be 40, I'm like, it's not old. It is not old. Come on. I feel like my 40s is gonna be like a really good era because I remember when I turned 30, I remember feeling like I could be more myself, feeling like, okay, like nobody could tell me nothing, like I got my life under control, blah, blah, blah. But then, you're still single. So then you're like, oh, like when am I gonna meet somebody? Oh my God. And the way things, like the way society puts things, right? It's like you have to be married at a certain age, have kids at a certain age, and blah blah. So like all these standards, it's like false standards that it's like you don't have to live by that. It's like you get married whenever you want, you have kids whenever you want, and it's not, it doesn't make you any less of a person, and it's like learning to, like, first of all, learning to be with ourselves is one of the keys to really thrive at any age, single or not single, because you could be with somebody and still not feel whole and still not feel like you know yourself and still feel like you're lonely. Like it happens because I remember myself like being in a relationship, like when I was married, and not knowing myself to the point that I could say like, oh, like, I know what I want and the standards that I have, like, for myself in a relationship look like this and this. But I didn't have none of that. Like, I'm telling you, my mentality back then was not like that at all. And that was part of my learning experience, to go through all of it, to find myself, to know what truly matters. Like, I feel like God, put me in this path on purpose to find myself, to be alone, to find myself, and to be able to share my story with others so that they could also learn how to find themselves. I don't know, like to maybe encourage other women that are single at my age and, they feel like they probably, they're never gonna meet somebody. They probably lost hope. Like, honestly, I feel like if you find yourself, if you feel whole and complete by yourself, being with somebody is just gonna add to that completeness that you have. Because wanting to be in a relationship, wanting to be with somebody just to make you feel whole and complete and all that stuff, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Let me tell you right now, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I feel like knowing what you want, knowing what you like, what you don't like, is super important for you to find a person that adds to that complements to your life. Is that even the right word? Because in Spanish se dice te complementa. Una persona que te complementa, whatever. You know what I mean. If you know what I mean, raise your hand, even though I can't see you. But yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so when I hit my 30s, I remember like feeling like I was on top of the world. I felt more confident in myself. But then again, like I started going through these rough patches of, self-worth issues or whatever you want to call it. And I didn't know how to, like I said, like take care of myself emotionally, mentally, and all that good stuff. So when I really started working on myself, it was when after I went through that hard relationship at 34 that broke my heart to pieces and made me find my worth or see my worth. And that's when things changed for me. I was like, I am never going to tolerate this kind of relationship ever again. I will never again ignore red flags. I will do what I have to do to improve how I see myself. And I remember telling myself these things, but I didn't even know like what I was gonna do. Honestly, I didn't know. Like I was just saying that, and I feel like it was God like saying like, like it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to go inward. It's time for you to know yourself, why you're here, like, and know your worth and how to love and respect yourself if you want to attract good in your life. So I remember at 34, feeling, defeated, I remember when I turned 35, I felt like I remember I felt a little depressed, thinking like, wow, like I thought my life was going to be different at 35. I thought I was going to be happily married with my kids, in my own home. That's what I thought, like that I was going to be like at that age. But it was totally the opposite. I was completely alone with my kids, living with my parents, and figuring life out again. Figuring myself out, because I didn't realize how lost I was, like in knowing myself. I don't know about you guys, but what I started doing, I started like getting closer to God, saying, I remember like I was really into listening to Joel Osteen and reading his books, because like in my early 20s, I also read one of his books. I forgot the name though. But Joel Osteen, the pastor Joel Osteen, like he has books, and like in my early 20s when I was going through it, when I had, um my divorce or my separation, because we're still not divorced. I know. What's going on, huh? I know. But I remember at that age, I remember reading that book from Joel Osteen, and that book helped me so much to see life in a different way, in a more positive way, and knowing that God was, that had a plan for all my pain. And even though I didn't understand how my life was gonna turn out, how I was gonna get back up from that breakup, I just kept, trying to know myself, but not really. Like, I looked at everything like in an external way. Like, I thought, okay, like maybe in the way that you only seek for validation outside of you, you seek for love outside of you instead of from God. I remember, wanting to buy myself all these things, a new purse, a new shirt, a new shoes, because you want to fill a void so bad that you don't realize that it's you, that you need to fill that void with God. I don't know if you guys believe in God, but I mean, that was me. That was my understanding of everything I was going through. And nothing filled me. Only my kids, only seeing my kids happy. But then I was also like raising them in a fearful way because of what I went through, and it wasn't fun. So then I really started, like I said, reading again one of Joel Osteen's books at 34. And I was like, okay, like it helped me a long time ago, like in my mid-20s, it could help me again. And so then I was reading it, and it helped me. And I was also, I started doing positive affirmations. And then at that time, I think I had social media again, because like in my mid-20s, I remember getting rid of all that. I was like, no, like I hate social media. Like, I don't want to like be involved in that. And it was because too, like, I felt so bad for my life. I felt so sorry for myself, which wasn't cool. I felt so sorry for myself for being single, for being a single mom. I remember seeing like friends with their husbands and their kids, and posting their happy pictures, and I would feel so freaking bad, instead of being happy for them, being like, oh, like at least they're good, they're happy or whatever. Like, I felt so jealous. Like, I remember feeling so jealous, and I didn't know how to see that in a different way. I don't know, but it wasn't cool. So I remember, okay, so at 34, I was like, all right, like I'm never gonna tolerate this and this. Like, next time I'm with somebody, I'm gonna be with somebody because I want to be with that person, not because that person is gonna make me what's it called, like, not give me stuff, but because I've never been like a materialistic person to say, oh, I'm gonna be with that person so they could buy me this and that. I have never been into that. I don't like that. I feel like if you really want a successful relationship, you have to be with somebody because you love that person, because you want to grow with that person, on all levels, like mentally, spiritually, like growing together, like having goals together and moving forward from that. And I remember, like, from that last relationship, I didn't have even goals like that, or I didn't even know what was my intention. I thought I was just like, oh, like, and I wasn't even in love either. Like, I was not even in love. Like, why did I get so heartbroken? Because I violated my own respect. So that's why I feel like that. I felt like shit, not for losing that person, because that person was a shitty person. I feel like my heart was broken because I had disrespected me so much by tolerating things from that person that I shouldn't have, that I had like resentment towards myself. I had all these like shame and guilt that I was holding for staying in that relationship longer than I should have. It was not cool. But I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm responsible for staying there longer than I should have. I am responsible for my decisions, for my mistakes. I need to move forward and forgive, like learn to forgive. That was one of the hardest, but I had to forgive. I was like, okay, I forgive that person for what they did to me, but also I forgive myself for making that mistake of being with that person. But then I was like, but I also learned, like, I'm actually grateful I met this person, because if it wasn't for that heartbreak, I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have found my worth. I would have probably still kept repeating, old patterns, old, mistakes, and the point of that, the lesson, the point of that relationship was to know my worth and to work on myself. Like, I didn't even know it was a thing. Like I've told you guys, I didn't even know it was a thing to work on yourself. So yeah, ever since, like at 35, I felt like a little depressed, because I was like, dang, I did not see myself single at this age. And I was like, you know what? It took me a while. I remember getting social media again. I think at 35, 35 or 36, I got social media again. I didn't want to. But then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to do it with a different intention this time. I'm going to do it to, connect with my family. And like, look at things that help me, and that's when I started like coming across, influencers or those people that like help you how to heal your inner child and stuff like that. So I got curious when I started seeing people talking about that. I'm like, oh, okay. And the person I saw first with that, and I went down that rabbit hole, was Danny Morel. His content about healing and healing your feminine and your masculine energy, like, and your inner child, like, that got me like really interested. That got me like super curious. I was like, okay, like, what is this about? Like, and everything that he would say, like, it just resonated so good. And I was like, wait a minute, like, this is why I attracted this person, because I was wounded. My inner child, my feminine energy, my masculine energy are super wounded, and this is why I feel unworthy. I feel like not okay with myself, because I don't know how to love myself, how to accept myself. I didn't realize that I didn't even know how to accept myself. Like, I was unconsciously like not liking myself. Like, I didn't like how I looked, who I was. It was crazy. It was like this internal battle that I was going through, and I was like, man, like, I thought like I was never gonna feel any better until now that I'm 39. And when I actually like truly found myself was at 38. When I really felt that, okay, like, all this inner work that I'm doing of knowing myself, of healing these parts of me, it's all coming together. I feel like now, I could think for myself. I can value myself. I can respect myself. I see life in a much better way than I used to. And I'm like, okay, so this is what healing is. Okay, so this is who I truly am. And I love this new person, So I'm happy to say that now that I'm gonna hit my 40, I feel like it's only gonna get better. Why? Because I did that inner work, because I know myself, because I know my self-worth, and it's just gonna get better. And I'm so happy that I did the inner work. And honestly, it's not like you do it once and then that's it. No, this is like forever. This work, this taking care of you, loving you, is not just once and then you go back to old ways. That's not the point. It's always every day choosing yourself, especially in hard moments, because we all have them. No matter how healed you are, no matter how much confidence or self-belief you have, we all have hard moments, difficult, situations in life that we have to overcome. And it doesn't mean that being healed, that you're never gonna go through something bad. It's just that now you have the tools to know what to do next, to instead of, if you have a problem, instead of trying to prove your point with somebody, you know that you don't have to waste your energy explaining yourself. If you know you're not in the wrong, or if you are, like, you acknowledge it, like, all right, my bad, like, sorry for this, or sorry for that. Like, that's another thing that comes with healing, that you then are able to be responsible for your shit, for your your shortcomings, and acknowledging that when you fuck up, you fuck up. It's not like when you don't know yourself, usually what we do is blame, right? It's like, oh no, it's their fault because look at them, like, they did this and that, and instead of saying, okay, like, what did I do wrong for them to act like this, or what did I do? Or maybe it wasn't even you that did anything. Like, sometimes we don't even deserve certain behaviors, but I mean, it happens, and it's up to us to, like, you know what, like whatever, like, I didn't do nothing, I know I'm not in the wrong, and I don't need to explain myself. And you just remove yourself from stuff like that. I don't know, like, things are I feel like if you're 40 and single and you feel lost, like, learn to be with yourself, like, heal, like, what you need to heal. And I'm telling you, like, coming across people that do that kind of work, that teach you those kind of tools to, like, how to heal yourself, like, whatever works for you, like look for that, find ways to like, know yourself. Like, even reading, like, there's so many books out there too. Like, I've read so many of Jay Shetty's books. Those helped me a lot too. And the book on the power of your subconscious mind, that helped me, like, create a better relationship with God and myself. And, like, there's so many good books out there that can help you. Like, start there. If you don't like to listen to podcasts, or maybe you do, that's why you're here listening. Read, like, that's another good thing to do. Like, read and take notes. Like, okay, like, what is this paragraph, it's teaching me? Like, I feel like, like, taking that self-inventory, like, okay, like you start connecting dots. Like, that's one of the things I like about, podcasts that help me grow and keep learning. They help me connect with parts of me that I didn't realize I was neglecting. Like, even now, like I'm telling you, like, you could do all this self-work, but then you still find things like, oh shit, like, I didn't know I was still doing that, or I didn't know that's why I was like that, because of this, inner child wound that I had, or this, based on this experience, like, I didn't realize I was reacting over those emotions. And it's a lot. And so, like, also be gentle with yourself, because like, doing the self-work, honestly, it's not easy. It hasn't been easy for me. There's been many times where I had to remove myself, even from family, because I was like, okay, if I'm not good with myself right now, I don't even want to be around family and hurt their feelings because maybe I'm coming across, not cool, I was like, let me back up a little. Let me find myself, because like I want to better my relationships, but if I don't know myself, how am I going to better my relationships with my family, with my kids, with friends? So then I remember and like doing stuff like that, like removing myself, like or like being in my room like a lot, or like stuff like that, and or like not wanting to go out because I was like, I don't want to see people, like I just want to be in my bubble. And I was like going through like this really dark moment, like in my late 30s, and it's hard. So like I understand you if you keep falling back to old patterns, or if maybe you're trying to do the work but you don't know how, or you start feeling a certain way and then you're like, oh no, like this is too painful for me to acknowledge or to go through. Like, I get you. But then also, like, I encourage you to keep going, because if you keep ignoring those signs, those things that maybe you don't want to work with within yourself, like it's only gonna get louder. I feel like that's what happened to me. I feel like like maybe like in my late 20s, I felt like I probably had to do the work and I didn't know how. I didn't have the guidance, and I didn't know where to seek for it, because I had no idea about this until that voice inside of me started getting louder of like, you know what, like you're not that voice or those emotions that make you feel super afraid to keep moving forward, super afraid to meet people or be around people. It's like you just wanna like you just want to be in your own bubble forever, and it's like you're afraid even of life. It's weird. I don't know, but I remember like sometimes crying myself to sleep, thinking like, fuck, like how much shit do I have in me that like I feel like I just can't get a break. I feel like like is this always gonna be like this? Like I feel like I get like little glimpses of joy, and then again like something triggers me and there I go again down that rabbit hole, and I'm like God, like is this gonna go on forever? But it doesn't. It doesn't. It's just really confronting yourself, really going through those emotions, because I feel like the hardest part of healing is feeling those emotions, like feeling scared, feeling lost, feeling. I feel like the fear one is the most that got me for a long time. I felt like even like I even felt scared for my family, like man, like is my family gonna be okay? Like you start having all these thoughts, but I mean they're just thoughts. It's just that like fears that are coming up, and they seem like there's something wrong with you, or I don't know, but I don't know how to explain it, but I hope you guys understand me a little bit. But yeah, guys, like I feel like 40s is gonna be a fun era for me. I still have much more to learn, to grow, but I feel like really good with myself. I feel like I've learned to love my company, the way I am, because I didn't realize too that I used to try to be a certain way to be liked. Especially when it came to like relationships. I felt like I had to change, like I had to be somebody I wasn't to be loved. and that is not cool for you. Like, doing that to yourself is not cool. So if you're feeling like that, if you feel like you have to, be a certain type of way to like be loved by somebody, like, please check yourself. Like, really, like take that self inventory and be like, okay, do I really want this? Like, why do I keep like feeling like shit? Like, I don't know, but it does take a lot of work, but it's okay. And yeah, I wanted to also talk about like the changes. I forgot to talk about that. I don't know if I said anything about how I used to think like 40 was old, but now that I'm 40, like I don't feel old, but I do see my face, like, little wrinkles here, there, and I'm like, God damn, like thank God for Botox and lip fillers, right? But dang, like that stuff could be pricey sometimes. And I'm like, man, but hey, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Get those facials, get those lotions, anything to help you look better, feel better, and do it for yourself, not because you want to impress anybody. Like, seriously, okay? Like, I need to remind you guys that, because I used to do that. I feel like I used to be like that. I used to feel like I wanted to look a certain way so that I could be liked or like whatever. I'm like, no, not anymore. But yeah, guys, I think I'll let you guys go now. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and follow me on Instagram. I have the Instagram for the podcast where I like to share reels, about myself, but like, little quotes here and there, and then my personal Instagram, Alma Bonita. And yeah, well, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're 40 and single, actually, you know what I wanted to talk about too was, or maybe I should leave it for the next episode, like choosing the right partner. Like, when you're a single parent, and at any age, I mean, but especially at 40, because I'm gonna be 40, but choosing a partner that is gonna be good, like, to be around your kids. Like, don't be with somebody just because you don't want to be alone. Like, take your kids, opinion and how they feel into consideration, because your kids are always gonna be your kids, and that person, like, you don't know. Like, so really take your time to know that person before you go all in, or before you introduce them to your kids. And yeah, I think I'll leave that for another episode. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, bye.